coming this morning. This is such an exciting day that we have been waiting for a very long time. A lot of people know I've worked for the city 3 different times. This is the single project that I've worked on every time I've worked at the city over a 20-year period. So it's so exciting to be here today. And we're so happy that everybody could join us for this monumental occasion. I want to thank all of our partners who are here today. It's not any single person that's gotten us here. It is a team effort, truly. And with that, I want to kick it off to our wonderful mayor who's been so supportive of helping us get this over the finish line. Mayor Lyles?
Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I want to recognize that there are a lot of people standing in the rear, in the sun, in the heat. So we're going to move this thing along so that you can possibly get some relief. But I want to say there's water in a cooler over here, and there's some fabulous pastries from Manalo Bakery. But please hydrate and make sure that you're safe in this heat. So I am so glad to be here to have this special moment at this time to break ground on this place today. For some of us, or at least maybe most of us that are over the ages of whatever I am that I'm never going to reveal, we have special memories of this place. Whether you drove in on the Harris Teeter side, or if you drove directly down to Belk or Ivy's, or whether or not you took your kids to the skating rink or the movie theaters, all of these were areas of Eastland, which in 1975 was the largest mall in North Carolina. You know, what I like to think about is that Eastland was the 1970s version of South End. New apartments, you know, everybody was coming in to get a job working at Nations Bank. They had amenities, they had swimming pools. Oh my gosh, apartments with swimming pool complexes. And every time, if you were an adult and drove by, you'd see young men and women jumping into pools with lots of wine glasses. We also know that part of this community was the idea that there were other vibrant spots. How many of you remember Slug's Steakhouse? I do. How many of you remember the Red Lobster? I do. How many about Grady's? And Daryl's Au-Jus roast beef sandwich, dunk it in the juice, whatever it was. I'm not sure what kind of au-juice it was, but Eastland in 1975 showed the progress in retail and the growth of our city. This is the East Side, was the place to be. But that was in 1975. Today is very different. Our restaurants are more diverse. The housing choices are more diverse. The retail is more diverse. The East Side is really representative of all the progress that this city has made that's inclusive, that this city embraces in terms of what we want to do for everyone. And this project and the people that make this happen, I want to say thank you to. Today is the day that we create another space, a space that will carry our commitment to this community, and they've waited a long time for that. This site represents the diversity of our cities. The restaurants on the East Side represent that. The Albemarle Road corridor and the restoration of the 1950s and 70 buildings represent that. I want to just say this project has gone through every possible review that's out there. I think I learned about this the first time I ran for city council, and that was a long time ago. Everything that we could do, from governmental studies, community input, and I'd like to recognize the 5th District council members who have worked on this project that are no longer in this position. We'll hear from the current, but I'd like to recognize those that did help us get this started. Nancy, come on, y'all. Y'all stand up and be recognized. I also want to recognize the new District 5 rep who will see this project become what we all intend for it to be, a great place to live and work. I want to recognize Marjorie Molina. So I want to also say that we come together to do this, and there are many people that helped us get across this line. I can't say enough about Tracy, but I want to especially recognize Todd DeLong. Where are you, Todd? Somebody had to manage this. You're going to hear from our partners in Mecklenburg County, and you're going to hear from our private sector, Crosland Southeast, who have stuck with us. Now, I want you to know that Tim just told me that he got gray hair from it. I said, I know a great hairstylist. You don't have to have gray hair, Tim. You can do it. But more importantly, what I'd like to recognize are the members of the East Side, the residents, the pastors, all of you. Raise your hand and wave if you have been a part of this effort from the community. Now I want to recognize Mark Jarrell, who is representing Mecklenburg County, as well as the other county commissioners that join us today. Would you please stand? I'm not going to get up again because as soon as this is over, I'm going to ask Tim Sidema with Crosland Southeast to follow Mark Jarrell. And I don't know if I got that backwards. Who wants to go first? Mark is going to go first. So let's do that. We'll have Mark, and then we'll have Tim, and then following that, I'll come back and introduce some more people. You guys are great. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. What a great day today. Feel the energy in the room. Well, first, let me say thank you and acknowledge the community for being here first and foremost. With all of our community leaders from the East Side, stakeholders, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You guys have really been the consistent backbone to keep this project moving forward, so I just want to say thank you so much. I'd also like to thank the mayor, my city council colleagues, the manager, city staff, and of course Crosland and Tim Sidema for their commitment to this important project and their commitment to the residents of the East Side. I'd also like to acknowledge my county commission colleagues, and I think Commissioner Meyer is here, and staff, county staff, for their efforts in addition to all the stakeholders who've been involved in the process of revitalizing this great site. As we're all aware, this site holds a special place in our community. It's produced so many great memories for previous generations, and now it's going to do the same for future generations and for people across the city, the county, and frankly, the region. Today, we're one step closer to turning this space into a thriving and vibrant destination location filled with businesses, economic opportunity, access to amenities such as transportation, open space, and housing. So today is certainly a great day for the East Side, the city of Charlotte, and Mecklenburg County. I couldn't be happier, and I'm very thankful for the efforts of so many people to pull this together. So thank you, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Tim Sidema with Crosland.
I'm going to get the stylist from the mayor when we're done here. Thanks, Commissioner Jarrell. Thanks to so many people who have taken the time out of their schedules, and many of you standing in the heat, to join us today. It's quite a milestone. It's been a long time in coming, and I'm grateful to be here today. You've heard some of the speakers mention the history of this property, so I won't dwell on that. But it was 47 years ago, this past weekend, that this mall opened in 1975, July the 30th, and it opened to much acclaim and success. The largest mall, as the mayor said, in the state of North Carolina at the time. And the mall enjoyed much success for many, many years and was, in fact, the heartbeat of the East Charlotte community for most of those decades. I'm going to have to move a little bit because I can't see. Yeah. I think I need to just move this up just a little bit here. Sorry. All right. I'll do just that. Thank you. Thank you, Ed. The property began to decline and obviously ultimately failed, and the city purchased the property in 2012. Immediately thereafter, the City Council established principles for redevelopment, including a prescient one about equitable economic development. In 2018, the city conducted a process where they sought proposals and selected a master developer. It was in 2018 that Crosland Southeast was selected, and we began our efforts at that time. Wow. Sorry, a little technological challenge here. Huh?
We'll click, you've got it.
You click?
Yeah, we'll click.
Yeah, it seems like we're pretty good at working on developments, I guess. So this is the slide I'm looking for. So as you can see on this slide, and maybe the glare is preventing some of you from seeing it, there are a lot of active participants involved in an effort like this. Among them, and maybe most importantly, the community as a very active participant. The city, the county, ourselves as master developer, a number of our consultants, you'll hear more about them, Land Design, D. Wilson Agency, Sequel, 505 Design. Much of 2019 was spent on community outreach. I recognize many of the faces in the crowd from all the meetings that we had back then. I think we had 17 or 18 neighborhood meetings in 2019. We conducted surveys, we used other communication channels, and what we heard from the community, if you could advance this, what we heard from the community loud and clear was they wanted sports and community facilities, food and beverage and convenience retail, greenway connections, open space, quality housing, nonprofit and business incubator opportunities. We have kept these components in focus throughout these past 4 years, nearly 4 years of planning, reminding ourselves regularly of what we were striving for. Essentially, that list of items that we heard from the community has been our North Star through our planning effort for the last 4 years. 2020 hit, brought a pandemic along. 2021, still in the pandemic. We worked incredibly hard and made very little progress as a direct result of the pandemic. It was challenging times. Equity partners weren't making decisions. Retailers and other folks weren't making decisions. We were all trying to figure it out. But we still worked tirelessly, and I know there was a lot of frustration in the community through those years because they couldn't see the progress. But there was a lot of people at the city, at the county, and within our own teams and our consultants' teams hard at work at that time. That brings us to today and the vision for this redevelopment. Where do we go from here? I probably don't need to remind the people here about the unique nature of this site on which we're standing. It's 6 miles from Uptown, the very same 6 miles that South Park is from Uptown, and yet it's a shorter commute to Uptown than it is from South Park. There's an incredible mix of population density, authentic diversity, and palpable neighborhood pride. The last, palpable neighborhood pride, was something that floored us on our team in 2019. We heard it regularly. And lastly, this Eastland parcel, as you can see here, is a large enough parcel to be truly transformative and catalytic to the community. The big idea, if you could advance it once more, is what we developed in 2019 with a lot of the community input. It's still applicable today, a mix of uses, activators, as we say, that complement, coordinate, and contribute to a walkable, sustainable, pedestrian-scaled environment that will be mixed income, mixed age, mixed use in its DNA. These next slides show just a few of the activators that we'll be working with, starting with the residential. We planned 4 sale townhomes and single-family homes, 4 rent apartments, if you could advance that like you see there, and affordable living for senior citizens. The Eat and Meet area will eventually be home to restaurants, retailers, and entertainment options that activate and accentuate the development and amenitize the surrounding neighborhoods. The Get Outside features include a county park that we're working on with the Parks and Rec folks at Mecklenburg County, and it will include a highly programmed urban-style park with many internal amenities. The result is the site plan that you see here. Those of you who have tracked our progress these past years will recognize this, as it is consistent with previous plans that we've shared with the community. The biggest difference, of course, on the plan that you'll notice right away is the signature recreation area on the right-hand side of the site. 2 weeks ago, that side was replete with soccer fields and even a headquarter office building for a professional soccer team. As you are aware, Tepper Sports made a decision not to join the Eastland development. We had hoped to include the Tepper program, would have liked to have them. Our plan is not dependent on their participation. It's early yet, but we're pleased to report that we've got ongoing conversations with at least 3 legitimate partners with whom we're in discussions. Uses that are consistent with the stated desires of the community, compatible with our vision, and that will contribute energy and economic opportunities to the neighborhood. It's much too early to elaborate on these options, and I know the media will be asking lots of questions about that. So I'll repeat that. It's much too early to elaborate on those options, but we are hopeful that an announcement can be made shortly. Obviously, an effort like this takes incredible work from very, very, very many talented individuals, and I'm pleased to be able to recognize some of them. Thank yous, of course, go to the city. The number of people from the city that are here today is nothing short of impressive. From the mayor, the city manager, so many of the council members. We couldn't be here today. We literally could not be here today. This project is a true case study in a public-private partnership. The private sector alone could not do this deal, and I think the public sector alone could not do this deal. And so this is a wonderful example of that. Tracy Dodson, Todd DeLong, I think, is going to go into rehab when we're done with this project, because we've been talking so much. From the county all the way from Manager Diorio, Leslie Johnson, Commissioner Jarrell, Lee Jones, Bert Lynn, Peter Zeiler, and so many others, amazing partners. Land design, Richard Petersheim's here. He's been working on this project maybe as long as anybody. Brett Crocker, Frank McMahon, Dennis Walls, and their incredible team at Land Design. 505 Design, Jim Babinchek, incredibly talented, creative individual. Taylor Compton, Kevin Kern, and others from their team contributed a lot to our planning and design efforts. The Blythe development folks, Frank Blythe is here today, along with many from his team. They're going to be doing the heavy lifting starting today. They're doing the site work. It'll be their equipment and their operators working hard here. Mike Bowen, Stoney Bumgardner, Cody Porch. I didn't see D'Alba this morning, but D'Alba Wilson is a dear friend of mine, a wonderful person, and her team, along with Tyler Neese and the Sequel folks, helped us much with the community engagement efforts. My own Crosland Southeast team, Barry James and I, partner, have been joined at the hip for 4 years. Peter Pappas, Yates Dunaway, Ellen Allred, Eric Fisher, Ryan Marino, just to name a few. There's many others that have touched this project almost literally daily for the last 4 years. So then, where do we go from here? And I'm trying to accelerate this because I feel your pain out in the sun back there. First of all, we're going to announce the project name going forward. It'll be Eastland Yards. Eastland Yards. We also have a new logo. The copyright issues kept us from using the old Sun logo, but we have a fresh update to that Sun logo, giving a nod to the past while pointing to a bright new future. So you'll be seeing more of that. Regarding the schedule, the infrastructure construction effectively begins today, and Blythe is already about an hour and a half behind schedule. Just kidding, Frank. No, the infrastructure starts today and will be ongoing for probably a year and a half or so. They'll be doing all of the regrading, removing all the asphalt, regrading this site. Everybody says this site is flat. It is not flat. So they'll be moving a lot of earth over these next months. We'll be doing all new infrastructure underground, a lot of people say, what are we going to be able to see? What are we going to be able to see? Well, you can't see underground utilities, I can tell you that. So it'll take a while for you to see the visible aspects of the work that we're doing. So infrastructure, including off-site improvements, signal modifications, traffic intersection enhancements all around the area will be ongoing. Vertical building construction will start in probably second quarter of next year. So it'll take us a while to create the opportunities for spots to then go vertical on with buildings. But we hope to start that kind of before mid-year next year. And that will get us to a grand opening for some of our first phase occupants sometime in 2024. In closing, and most importantly, I'd like to thank, as the mayor did, all the community members who took such an active role in attending meetings, voicing opinions, concerns, sharing ideas, and especially exercising their patience as we finally got to this step. I can assure you that we've been hard at work these past years, working on a development as complex as any we've been privileged to work. We have much work yet to do, but this is an important milestone along the way, and I want to thank you again. And I think I'll introduce City Council Member. Oh, the mayor's coming back up. Okay.
Okay, how are you guys doing in the back? Just remember where the water is in the cooler. Please do that. This is really important. So I want to make sure everybody's okay. You know, Frank, my brothers do this kind of work, and God bless you for taking on an 80-acre site, hilly, and enough asphalt to build something brand new. Hopefully we'll be doing something environmentally friendly. What I'd like to do first is to recognize the District 5 representative, Matt Newton. I want him to come up and talk about this project. Following Matt's presentation and his commitment, we'll have the Charlotte City Council join. You know, there's always a photo op in any of these programs, and then Mayor Pro Tem will be following Matt, and then we'll go from there with the at-large members as well as those that want to speak today. So, Matt, this is your time. You know, Matt's not going to be with us, and we're going to miss him. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And thank you all for being here today. This turnout in the middle of the week, by the way, the middle of the day, middle of the week, is really something. And it speaks volumes as to how important this is to our community. So thank you again all for being here. I wanted to start just by saying, wow. Right? Wow. We're here. We're finally here. Although we're not at the end of the road just yet, it's days like today, with the on-site activity that we're seeing, everyone's smiling faces, our community coming together, the excitement. Days like today, when our destination appears a bit clearer and we know it's within reach. It's tangible and it's real. As I reflect on the long journey that got us to this point, there are so many people to thank. But first, I have a question for everyone. You might have heard this one before. Who here remembers Eastland Mall? Who here, keep your hands up. Who here remembers the food court? Movies on Friday nights or on the weekend, all of the department stores. And dare I say it, everyone says this, dare I say it, the ice skating rink. Doesn't everybody have a story? Everybody has a story about the ice skating rink. I'm really surprised that we haven't heard more about it so far today, but I'm going to bring that up, the ice skating rink. Well, you know, I remember all of those things too. I remember how much it all meant to me, and I feel like I'm not the only one. Eastland Mall was special. It defined us, not just here within East Charlotte, but within the city of Charlotte as a whole. It was dynamic, it was unique, it was a destination and source of pride. Once again, it was special. And it's those qualities that today's redevelopment project aims to recapture and restore, creating a revitalizer, not just for this site, but for our entire Eastland region, including the Central Avenue, Sharon Amity, and Albemarle Road corridors. With today's groundbreaking, we take that next crucial step forward to achieving those goals. Arriving at this point has been a process that has spanned well over a decade, with virtually hundreds, if not thousands, of people involved. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for former District 5 council members Nancy Carter, John Autry, and Dimple Ajmira, or for that matter, all of the past and present council members who showed they believed and continue to believe in this project with their hearts and their votes. And they are all, by the way, here today with us. That includes, of course, our illustrious economic development chairs, such as James Mitchell and Malcolm Graham, who is with us today, and also our mayor. Very early on, we had a community organization form and take up the call. Charlotte East made it their mission to champion all things Eastland, and that they did. Never wavering once, leaders like Maureen Jalowski, Mike Sullivan, former Mayor Patsy Kinsey, and Charlotte East's current chair, Greg Asciuto, who also happens to moonlight as one of CMS's most exceptional teachers. He's here, by the way, he's right over here. Go Wildcats. They were relentless advocates with many of their ideas and vision forming the basis and foundation for today's redevelopment plan. Rumor also has it, by the way, that they have those cool Eastland Sun logo signs, and that might be a part of the project moving forward as well. Charlotte East was not alone, of course, as community organizations like Econ and FinCo also lent their voices, and community leaders across East Charlotte weighed in. Some of those names include Carolyn Millen, Bobby Allman. I'm going to say those two names one more time. Yeah. Carolyn Millen and Bobby Allman. Tracy Thomas, Mimi Davis, Pastor John Bremer, Diane Langevin, Scott Robinson, Glenn Wingate, Manolo Betancourt, Debbie Dryden, Pam Fox, Michael Haithcock, Diana McLemore, Aletta Horton. There's more. Liz Millsaps-Hagler, Vernetta Mitchell, Maxine Eves, Heather Ferguson, Alba Sanchez, and Barry Cantor. Frankly, there are too many to name today, and if I missed anyone, you know who you are, and I am forever grateful for all of your contributions. Our city staff also heeded the call. Marcus Jones, Tracy Dodson, Todd DeLong, Brent Cagle, Jason Snyder, and current Asheville City Manager Deborah Campbell, to name a few. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention our county commission, including East Charlotte's very own Mark Jarrell, whom you heard from earlier. We wouldn't be here without their contributions. And like my city colleagues, their willingness to believe in this project, this vision. And not in any superficial sense, by the way, but to demonstrate that from the dais. It means a lot. Thank you. Finally, I must thank Tim Cinema, Peter Pappas, and Crosland Southeast. We have certainly faced some challenges together, and through it all, Crosland has always conducted themselves with the utmost professionalism, courtesy, integrity, responsiveness, and honesty. They have been a trustworthy partner and have always kept their promises. Simply put, they are a partner we can count on, and for that, I am so grateful. So thank you all. As for me, the sun is setting on my time as a council member. As you might have heard, my final term is coming to an end. And I can truly say that representing East Charlotte has been the greatest honor of my life, with my time spent on Eastland being some of the most rewarding and cherished work, mainly because of how this project brought our community together. I remember just starting out as a council member almost 5 years ago, and there being so many different ideas and suggestions for this redevelopment. It took years to get to a place where we could all agree upon a common vision, and now here we are, moving forward to implementation. Although there is still work to be done, I have a message for any doubters out there. The sun always rises in the east. And with this project, a brighter dawn is breaking on the east side. I look forward to passing the baton to District 5 Councilmember-elect Marjorie Molina, who will see us through the next phase of this project. And I'm so excited for what the future holds. Once again, thank you all for being here. And at this time, I believe I am going to be calling up my council colleagues. If everyone would like to come up.
Well, that was hard to top, so I'm not going to even try to top it, Matt. That was obviously very emotional and heartfelt. I just want to give a shout out to the entire Eastland community and the culture of the community, and I want to say felicidades a la gente de Eastland, de East Charlotte. Hoy marca un día de un nuevo comienzo. Felicidades a todas las familias, las empresas de East Charlotte. It's a new beginning. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm District 1 Councilmember Larkin Eggleston. This project gave Tim a couple of gray hairs, but look what it did to me. My late friend Sandy once leaned over to me in a room full of politicians, and he said, Larkin, everything we're saying has been said already, but not everybody's had their chance to say it. And I feel like that's never been more true than today. So apologies to those of you standing in the sun. It has been my honor to be Matt Newton's partner in crime as the other representative on the east side, and as he said, we'll both be passing the torch representing the east side in the coming weeks, but we couldn't be passing the torches to two better people for the east side than Marjorie Molina in District 5 and Dante Anderson in District 1. The east side will be in good hands. So thank you so much for everything you did to be here. I thought Matt was going to include this in his comments, but after this, to celebrate this momentous occasion, he's headed down to the courthouse to legally change his name to Eastland Yards Newton. So congratulations.
You know, this has been a dream for me that is finally being realized. And as a resident of East Charlotte and former District 5 council member, I know how much today means to me, and I know how much it means to the entire council and to so many of you. There hasn't been a day on the city council that Eastland hasn't been priority for us, for the entire city council, not just for me. And this neighborhood has been so special. I have met so many wonderful neighborhood leaders. I have spent hours at some of your homes, and I appreciate you hosting us and welcoming us and sharing your feedback along the way. And really, combination of Southern hospitality with a global flavor can only be found in East Charlotte. So I want to thank you all the neighborhood leaders, the Crossland Southeast, for just a wonderful partner that we have. I know there have been heartbreaks along the way, but you have not given up. You have not given up, and neighborhood leaders, you have not given up. I know there are times where you have said, well, East Side has been neglected. Well, I hope this step, this is a bold step where it reaffirms our commitment to the East Side, where you can see this has been a priority for the entire council, not just for the East Side council members. And our work doesn't end here. I recognize that we still have miles to go with finding a solid partner like the Crossland Southeast to redevelop the remaining 20 acres. But we are working on that, as Tim Sidema has said, and we are going to find a solid partner that is not going to waver from their commitment. And I, along with my colleagues, also want to recognize our flea market vendors. So I recognize you, Hector, and other market vendors. And I realize and I recognize that we must find a sustainable solution for them. And City Council is committed to doing that, because I understand that you all deserve the same level of respect and support as large businesses do. And that is our commitment. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ed Driggs. I'm the council representative for District 7, which is far away from here. I wanted to offer just a brief personal perspective. When I took office in 2013, we had a situation at Eastland. We had bought the land, we had to demolish the mall, and we spent years trying to find an answer. We looked at film studios, we looked at amateur sports, and there was really no responsible or credible solution. I went around to developers and I said, isn't there something we can do? It's a large property, it's in a great location. They said, nope, too big, too risky. And I thought there must be somebody with the vision and the capacity to partner with the city and make something happen here. And as it turns out, there was. Tim, just wanted to express to you a personal note of thanks. I watched our failures before you came along, and I appreciate you all the more because of what you have done. I also just wanted to say briefly, as a council member, again, from a faraway district, I join my colleagues in being committed when it comes to the development of the remaining 20 acres to remembering the input that we got at the time that we talked to representatives from East Charlotte, community benefits, and we're going to make that come true. It's going to be different, but it's going to be good. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Malcolm Graham, Chairman of the City's Economic Development Committee. Let's get to work. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Renee Johnson, and I am the University District 4 representative. I just want to say it's an honor to be a part of the renaissance of the East Side. Thank you to Tim. Thank you to the city staff, the county commissioners, and the community. Thank you.
Good morning. Donato, will you pull up my slides, please? I just want to recognize two very specific folks today. One is Tracy Dodson. There's a lot of people that spent a lot of time to make this moment and what's going to happen in the future happen. But Tracy Dodson is an economic ninja. And I will tell you, in my opinion, as in Charlotte history, as we look back on this, there will be a lot of people that made this happen, but you will be viewed as the engineer, the architect, and the ultimate catalyst to making this occur. So let's give it up for Tracy Dodson first and foremost. And then secondly, I want to give a heartfelt recognition to David Tepper and Tepper Sports. And I will tell you something, in all seriousness, it's very easy in this community to be a Monday morning quarterback and look at very complicated, long-term strategic visions that are still in their infancy and critique them. But I will tell you with absolute certainty, we have an organization and a leader in our community that has invested in our community already, that has invested in our football team, that has brought us a professional soccer franchise, and whether it worked out in the beginning with the original plans or not, had a large part for the reason we're all able to stand here today at this milestone. And all of that occurred without us giving a single dollar of city money to them yet. So I just want to recognize that while it's a tough time in a long-term strategic vision, this is how those work. And we have a partner that we will continue working with, and today is a celebration for all of us.
All of you can see the commitment that each person that stands here, each person that's worked with us, each person that's on our team has made. So I want to say right now, we're going to go move some dirt, because that's what we're here to celebrate with. So I'm going to ask, I am not getting on that cat track, no Blythe equipment for me. I know some people that know how to do that. I challenge any one of the council members that want to learn. Okay. So with that, okay, we're going to get ready, and Ms. Jackson's going to lead the way where the shovels are. Please, Mr. Jones, Ms. Meyer, Mr. Terrell, I'm going to name you after Bill Terrell. All of you, please join us. Marjorie, come on and join us.
I didn't even catch what you said. You said just give my money over there.
Break some ground.